This is my 35th year at Just Look. I'm going to give a talk in 6 minutes, and I would like to dedicate the talk to the healthcare workers who have passed away treating their COVID patients. And this talk is specially for Dr. Tolani, who was the first urological registrar at Just Look. He passed away last week with COVID 19, treating COVID patients. Sir, RIP. So, as Dr. Ashwin Mehta said, there are going to be recommendations, but these are guidelines. The greatest guideline is when the head of the transplant team, the transplant surgical head, transplant nephrological head, and the anesthesiological head say this patient requires a transplant. Period. We've had patients who are category low priority as far as these guidelines were concerned, but they lived far away. They had no access to dialysis facilities, and we lost those patients without having done their transplant. This has all been said. So has this. So has this. However, here I want to just say that all patients getting transplant done during COVID times have to have a written consent taken that because they are immunosuppressed, though very rare, but there is a chance of them getting their COVID. Management has been said beautifully by Dr. Bahadur, who we have also published in the American Journal of Transplantation. Post-transplant follow-up. Look at the last sentence, home delivery of immunosuppression if possible. So as far as possible, home delivery of immunosuppression if possible, and telemedicine for follow-up. Make sure these transplant patients don't keep coming to their hospital for follow-up if they're stable. Now, if the PCR is negative and the antibodies levels are undetectable, then kidney transplant can be done according to local guidelines. If PCR is negative and patient has antibody titer against COVID-19, if he has the IgM, hold on to that transplant. If he has IgG, carry on with the transplant. If PCR is positive, irrespective of the antibody titer level, kidney transplant should be deferred. Here, I want to give my gratitude to all the anesthesiologists who helped us doing the transplant during the COVID era. And here is Dr. Prerna dressed up completely in the PPE. Remember here, the drugs are preloaded. The anesthesia is machine checked. There's a disposable breathing circuit, endotracheal tube, and video laryngoscope with a disposable blade is used. Intraoperatively, there are viral filters in the circuit with an expiratory port of anesthesia in 1% sodium hypochlorite. The AC is shut for 20 minutes at induction, and there's a minimal staff in the OT. This is after the anesthesia is given, then only the surgical team enters. The less people in the theater, the better. Post-operatively, now we look at what we have done between the patient and the surgeon. There's a plastic sheet with suction as an extubation tent. And the patient, even after the extubation is done, when the surgical team is out, the AC is again shut for 20 minutes. And then the patient is shifted to the KTR. Donning, doffing. This we prepared carefully. It's all in the operation theaters. It's very self-explanatory. Remember, before donning, remove all external wearings such as watches, jewelry, earrings, bangle, ID card, and most importantly, the mobile phone. Now, after all this is done, it is difficult to put a visor, but all your loops have a pair of spectacles, and you pray to God that this is enough for us to protect our eyes. Has the time arrived to restart renal transplant? Yes, the time has arrived to restart renal transplant, as Bahadur already told you. There was a lot of discussion all over the world whether laparoscopy, robotic, and open donor nephrectomy should be done because of aerosol generating procedure. But there is no evidence to suggest that laparoscopy places surgical teams at a higher risk. However, though there is no conclusion, But when we do laparoscopy or robotic donor nephrectomies, we make sure that all these are closed systems and there's hypochlorite solution inside them. We should remember the unknown is not what to be afraid of. It's only when the unknown becomes known that one can decide whether to be afraid or not. COVID 19 initially was an unknown disease. So we do minimal bowel handling, we keep no peritoneum at the minimum, and we have smoke evacuation units with active filter. So here they are. So we are keeping all this into a closed system and hypochlorite solution just at the entry sites. So renal transplant challenges. They should be done as per priority categorization. All patients of COVID have a risk of thrombosis, arterial thrombosis, venous thrombosis. That's the reason why Dr. Bahadur said we are trying to avoid very elderly donors because these patients, elderly donors, have atherosclerotic vessels. They may not have plaques, they may not have thrombus. When we have done AV fistulas in patients who were COVID positive and then became negative, we have found that the fistula has been performed well. It takes time to pick up. All these patients went on antiplatelet therapy. So during a transplant in the COVID era, it is better to place patients on antiplatelet therapy like an ecosprin. It helps for prevent of thrombosis. So venous thromboembolism has been complicated with obese. We all know that. And that is the reason that during transplant in the have to make sure we get the best vessel and we have to do the job fast. So HEPA filters. When do we operate post-COVID patients, which means patients who have now become negative? As far as I'm concerned, the latter, the better. At least wait for a month after the last PCR. At least wait till you get their the IgG antibodies. Testing of transplant team, that is a subject of dispute. As far as I'm concerned, every transplant team should be tested before starting transplants. Because if by any chance you have an asymptomatic positive doctor, and if the patient becomes positive after a transplant, we are heading for trouble. What extra postoperative care? It's all been mentioned. Thromboprophylaxis, I have just spoken about. At the end of the day, anesthesiologists to be safe, surgeons to be safe, nephrological colleagues to be safe, patients to be safe, and the whole OT staff to be safe. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for a patient hearing. Yes, transplant can be done, and we will continue doing transplants. Even we did it during the COVID era, and we'll continue doing it post-COVID era. Thank you.